Good day to you, fellow humans. I started to make a few videos the other day, and a couple unusual things happened that I wanted your feedback on. One, I started channeling a message in a way that was louder and different of a voice than I normally have, and then it was like my human was like resisting it. And so every now and then I would kind of like go in and out of it. And it was kind of funny. There were like certain themes where the resistance was there. But, I'm a newbie at this channeling. For me, it's mostly about sharing the messages that were already pretty much channeled to me and downloaded to me while I was painting the art, that's been carrying these messages. So when I am sort of like overtaken by this other voice, that's brand new. So anyway, I feel so awkward about it. Yeah, I don't edit my videos like this because if I did, I might overthink them and never record them or never promote them because, you make mistakes when you're talking and yada, 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 all the different things, right? So what ends up happening is I did not post that yet. I just feel a little weird about it. And like I said, my weird resistance to the channel. It was very interesting though. And I don't fully remember what the message was. Because that's also happening sometimes during these. So we'll see. But today's message, I'm thinking of just sharing what I have been downloading and receiving information on and what keeps coming to me through synchronicities, which is love and light does not mean letting go of the fight. So our mission right now is to fight for what is right. Sounds like a little poem. Wasn't intended to be, but there's really bad stuff out there. I mean, it's hard not to get into, and I think I was given this message specific to me. It's hard not to get into a dreamy, happy state about the potential changes and like, oh, I'm keeping my frequency high and I'm living so happy and positive. And then you're reminded, there's a lot of really bad things going on out there. And what are we doing to show how much we care about humanity by putting our own foot down? And so that's the message I'm getting, is that we've got to fight. We've got to fight more for what is right. All of us who are, looking forward to the ascension, we also still need to be fighting the big fight. There is terrible stuff going on. And it's when we show our passion and we show our care, that is part of the love and the light. It's not darkness. It's not darkness to feel anger at systems that are broken, that are meant to keep us down. It's not negative to feel passionately that something shouldn't be happening. And I'm going to give an example. At work, at a very large corporation, people are being told every Friday during an exact 4-hour window to start hitting the old AI, just for the sake of hitting the old AI, not even with any intention. What's that about? To me, that is ethically wrong. Completely ethically wrong, and it seems like it's just a disturbance to take down the grid, and I am just morally and completely opposed to it. So that's where that's at. But I'm just giving an example. Where does the fight stop? Why are the humans just accepting things from corporations, which are essentially run by certain families, right? Owned by certain families. Like, when are we going to stop all of it, right? I'm ready. I know it sounds crazy. And when I brought it up 10 years ago, I for sure sounded crazy, or even 15 years ago, and nobody wanted to do it. But didn't Tucker Carlson even just say, stop paying our credit cards? Maybe we start there. We stop paying our credit cards. Maybe we're still fearful and we're still paying our mortgages. We still want our houses. We still want a place to live. But what if we stop paying our credit cards? What would happen? I wonder. This video will definitely probably not go far in its algorithm. But I do wonder. I mean, really, I really do wonder, why are we paying things? Why are we paying things? What are we afraid of? What are we afraid of? While others are completely okay with tanking our economy, what are we going to do to stop accepting that, right? Like, for example, I was reading all these different Amish techniques. You can put your freezer, your refrigerator on its own little $200 solar panel. You can do all these things to completely get yourself off grid, one thing at a time within your property, inexpensively. You can Stop eating processed food because it's all poison. You can stop doing almost anything that you've ever been told to do because we know it was a lie. That's what's so crazy. It's like we're enacting this lie for them. We're playing along with the lie and we know it's a lie, so why are we doing it? We need to stop all of it. Going to jobs that are meaningless, to pay corporations that are meaningless, to create a financial world that is meaningless. For what? All we need is our safe communities, our neighborhoods, our places to be and play and live. We can create our own foods. We can live off grid as much as possible. We can live simpler, and we can start doing it now. We don't have to wait for the ascension. We can start doing it now, and it prepares ourselves for the ascension when we live simpler, when we don't eat processed foods, when we clear our bodies energetically. Everything that we can do that's preparing us. That's a great way of love and light, right? That's preparing for the future without saying, hey, we're just going to accept the status quo. Let's make dramatic changes. Let's hop timelines by making dramatic decision changes differently every single day. Okay, I haven't even drawn a card yet. Let's draw a card. Sorry, folks. I'm excited. And just as I say all these crazy ideas, I'm giving the Temperance card. Okay, so in moderation at first, right? With organization, let's not do it individually. Let's do it in mass. Let's make a movement. Let's create a movement. A long time ago, I wrote this book, and part of it was this database called Mentel, where all the women got together and they put together all the facts and information about male abusers. And now I saw today this man who was doing it, and it's getting like tons of attention. So it's like, okay, let's do it as a movement. Let's not individually ruin our entire lives, right? Let's try to hop timelines. Let's be as dramatic as we can, but let's moderate a little. The wounded healer and the wounded teacher. It's the yin and the yang. We're to do both right now. Okay, let's draw another card. I was excited there for a minute, but no, I'm ready. I'm ready for giant changes. I think all of you are. If you're here, you're probably ready for ginormous changes in the universe. Yes, that's what the horse is all about. We're ready, right? We know it could get tough, right? And what does that mean? I mean, for me, it means like buttoning down a little bit, but not in a fear-based way, but just in a practical way. Like if I had to live off grid, and in fact, I prefer to live off grid, but what kind of supplies and things would I need? What could I do to start eating fresher, healthier food and spending less money? I already dropped down to just one meal a day, although that includes maybe a few snacks also, starting in that one meal period later in the day. But I started that last December because, with everything that was happening, food became very, unappealing to me. But, I'm constantly giving the message, simplify your diet, do basics, go back to the basics, folks. We go back to the Amish ways. I mean, I think that's why those videos are coming into my purview now through my algorithm, is because, like, the basics, we have to be reminded of how to make your own detergent for $6 a year. I found that video the other day. It was amazing. I was like, this is fantastic. I'm on it. How to keep mosquitoes from ever being born into your yard, because if they're in your yard, that's where they were born. I'm on it. A lot of simple solutions, because everything that has been created and invented, like putting a bunch of water and detergent that we didn't need, that we pay a ton of money for at a premium, it was all intended to just keep feeding the top while we get nothing at the bottom. And we've got to be through with that. The Fire Horse tells us we are. The astrology, astronomy, science, all the prophecies, it's all leading to the fact that we're done. We're tired of this. We're done. It's ending. But that doesn't mean that we complacently sit there and wait for the hurrah moment when we rise to a new dimension, right? We've got to show our love and support for this earth and Gaia and everything within Gaia, right? We have to show that by caring, by having passion. Temperance, smart passion, but passion nonetheless. I love when I get this card. Isn't this the hardest thing to do if you're on your journey right now? Stop doubting your divine self. It's so hard. Some of the things we say, they sound so crazy, We know they sound crazy. Everything sounds crazy until it makes sense, right? I mean, that's how these algorithms are working. That's how these trails that we're all giving ourselves are working. They're all leading us down a path toward this giant moment where everybody finally understands who they are and what they want to do about it, right? And the changes that they want to make. No matter who makes you feel weird about it, love yourself. Don't doubt yourself. Don't doubt the synchronicities that are happening and keep watching for them. Be like Sherlock now, right? Look for synchronicities. These are what matter now. What else matters now? Nothing but this. Nothing as much as this. Go into your hermit. Enjoy being in your hermit, your contemplative stage. There is no better way to reach spirit than through alone time. Introspection, alone time, meditation. That's how you can reach your God, your higher self, your spirit, whatever you want to call it. Little hermit time shows up on almost every reading, it feels like, but it is really important. I've actually been in a hermit phase since December. It is now June, and I've never felt better. There's an end for everything, though. Okay, I don't know. I always draw this on the weekend, my weekend. Maybe some of us are going to be doing some tripping. Maybe that involves meditating, getting into this really close state with your higher self. Because really, that's what tripping is. I mean, if you're doing it recreationally, you could get hurt. You could get in trouble. A lot of things could go wrong. It's really hard to explain to people that want to do something recreationally how it can be done in a completely safe way, and it has completely different meaning, and it will be a completely different experience. But yes, I mean, everybody who's on this channel, hopefully you understand that I am against recreational tripping or tripping of young minds of any sort, really, that aren't prepared for that kind of spiritual experience. Not to say that young people aren't ready. I'm seeing so many awoken young spiritual people. It's kind of amazing. But unfortunately, with the underdeveloped brain and the lizard brain that's controlled by evil entities and the terrible dangers on this earth right now, the things that we can't quit being passionate about, one of which is a certain drug that starts with F, which I don't know if anybody heard this news, but people have become addicted to it from just touching it without ever taking it. These are causes we should be fighting for. This, and of course the obvious abuse of, by ICE of, I don't even know who the people are they're going after and what their criteria is today, but what will it be tomorrow, right? We have to stop the whole thing. But we also have to fight for, other causes. And everybody has different ones. Fight the ones that matter to you, right? But there's so many things to fight for. We've got the trafficking situation. We've got, the obvious fact that our government is completely made and owned. I mean, there's just so many what's your cause, right? But be passionate, care about something. Because if you don't care, if you're just sitting passionately waiting for it to happen, it won't happen. Because it's based on our vibration. That's how we got to 3D when we were in the 5D in the first place. In case some of y'all remember that from your previous lives. Way back, right? Before we became overtaken by evil. We were in the 5D, but because when you're a slave, your frequency really goes low. That's what's happened. So breaking out of slavery is the way to raise your frequency, to simply rise above. But part of breaking out of slavery is actually doing the work to break out of slavery. So whatever that is to you, that might be what we're looking at right now. And the same message is to me, and I'm evaluating my situation about that every single moment of every single day, without overthinking it. Oh, the Explorer. Well, this is what I have been doing since December, when I started doing my favorite childhood activities, which involved making faces and then playing with the paint drawings of the faces is what I did as a child, reorganizing them in different ways, doing weird data collection and different things like that. So I'm pretty much doing exactly that now. I have my playground in my yard where I find a lot of joy with recreational activities when I need a physical break. And, dancing and just movement is wonderful. But yeah, when I find I when I explore the things that I loved most as a child is when I'm the happiest. But this is a reminder, we should also be getting outside in nature, because in nature there are so many answers and so many higher dimensional beings that are there to love and comfort us and give us a solace that we cannot get on this earth, and an unconditional love that so far we have not been able to feel and understand, naturally on this earth. So do some exploring if you can, even if it's just going outside and talking to the birds and the animals. I think I'm going to leave it on that note for now. Thank you so much for listening. If this resonates, please please comment. If you're interested in the channeling video, I'm still on the bench if I'm going to include it out here or not. I also did a video explaining how sound bowls connect to human design and how they can be used to heal specifically what's needing healing on you based on human design. So if either of these types of videos resonate and you've made it this long, please leave a comment. Yeah, it's a 30-minute video, so I hesitate to post things that are really long and onerous. But yeah, if there's an appetite for that, that's my passion, so I'd love to share. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend wherever you are in this universe.